You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You don't measure up. Has something like that never been spoken over your life? You ever dealt with that? Well, my father did. Dad wasn't exactly what you want to call the model student in his younger years. In fact, it led him to having to go to a private military academy here in town. And as he continued through his education, he came toward his end of his high school days and started planning his next steps. My grandfather, like many who served in the Second World War, wanted his son to become a college graduate, like the many officers my grandfather had served under so admirably in the Second World War. My dad already displayed a passion for history, and many of the career options in that field would have required him to have a college degree. So that was the plan. We're going to college. And that was all well and good until one day a well-meaning high school guidance counselor, who I'm sure had the best of intentions, sat my father down and said, "Look, you're not college material. You're not smart enough. You're not good enough." And I'm sure for a lot of people that would have been the end of the story. They would have chosen a different route, like a river that finds the path of least resistance to the ocean. Dad would have just found a different way to go, but that's not my father. See, those words that stung so deeply lit a fire under him. And so he redoubled his efforts, he got his grades up, and he ended up applying to and being accepted to the Baptist College, which today is known as Charleston Southern University. And not only did he go to Charleston Southern University, but he excelled, and he got his bachelor's of history with a minor in divinity. And for a lot of people, that would have been enough. I proved my doubters wrong. I did it. I did what they said I couldn't do. And for a while, that was okay for Dad. And then, about a decade later, he applied to the Southeastern Theological Seminary in Wake Forest, North Carolina. And by this point in time, I was a child, and I remember so many nights with my dad, and he'd be reading a commentary or working on a paper. My favorite nights were the nights that he was working on these archaic languages, and I was already a deep Star Wars fan at this point, and these languages sounded like something from that galaxy far, far away. I would later learn these languages were called Greek and Hebrew. And it was this same dogged determination that had served my dad so well that he applied to the genealogy of my family. I remember stories of him traipsing all over the backwoods of Virginia, or going to into the libraries in these tiny towns in Tennessee and researching our family. And Dad probably added more to the actually family history than just about anyone else. And I'm so thankful for the things that he did. But this just isn't a story about academic achievement or the benefits of research. No, this is a story about a spirit of perseverance, the refusal to give up. It's about the value of hard work and doing those things that I call things that take no talent. It's about how hard work and determination can overcome a perceived lack of natural ability. And I think those are lessons that anyone could apply from my father's life.